Well, this is interesting. It's a way to get into a zone with you. Okay. All right. So just relax the shoulders, relax the spine. Deep breaths. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, John. Good morning, Lena. Right now we're doing well, it's sort of a yoga pose. It's definitely a yoga pose, considering where your spine is how you're situated right now. Yeah, I'm on a backward slope. Um, John wants to backtrack and start writing a blog piece um, about uh, a flashback. Like we write occasionally stories about flashbacks. About this one is from like 2014. So we're gonna just right now do a little stream of consciousness, and then we're gonna use this video to put together the blog piece, right? So when John first started coming through, and we really connected, um, I used to be laying out on the couch in the living room, and I would doze off into. We would doze off together, like take naps in the middle of talking, and because in the beginning we talked constantly about him being back and what it all meant. I want to uh, get the the title out of the way. Okay, uh, Johnny be good. Johnny got back. Johnny gives Lena a spinal crack, and we can change it up, make it a little bit groovier. All right, that's not bad. Johnny got back, like get back. Johnny be good, like Chuck Berry song. And Johnny gives Lena a spinal crack. Well, yes. Also, that this were when I was would be laying there dozing. What would wake me were these huge, powerful bone cracking sounds, and what they were was my bones cracking. I had been so tensed up for years with acute anxiety and I guess anger. Yes, inner anger, anger at myself for being an addict. Definitely so much anger at myself for not being able to get under control. And anger, at the world for being the way it is. A really shitty, prejudiced, judgmental place, and not to mention cruel and horrifying. Just a lot of stuff. But anyway, that all builds up in your spine and in your musculoskeletal system. John's feeding me words because I don't really. I'm just like my, so he had to crack me open like a walnut. I'm not kidding. And it didn't just happen once or in one place on my body. It wasn't just my spine. It was my wrists. It was my hips. It was my ankles. It was my neck. If someone would have been in the room watching this, it would have looked like a scene out of a science fiction movie. My body was just jerking and cracking. And John would say, just hold still and breathe. I am And the thing is, it felt very good. Nothing hurt. Nothing hurt. Every time there was a crack, and the spine was the biggest one. He would bend me backwards and sideways. and he was like a chiropractor, like a very aggressive chiropractor, very all business, step by step. Each session would take about 20 minutes. And he did it a couple of times a day for like 2 weeks, right? Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. And occasionally he'll give me a tune up over the years, and every up until now he'll do a tune up on me if I'm upset about stuff, and he'll be like, you need an adjustment. And it it's a real thing, and it's really funny because in his song Come Together there is the lyric, he's one spinal cracker. And I said to him, does that song have something? And John said, everything is prophetic. I'm a prophet. I'm a prophet, Lena. So when I wrote those lyrics, I didn't necessarily know what they meant, but they sounded good to me. And now it's what that meant. I had to crack your spine. Yeah. So this is amazing, and this is good. So I will write it down and do a blog piece, because it's nice to have these stories in written word form. We do a lot of video. He's cracking my spine right now. We do a lot of videos, but a lot of people who read the blog really appreciate the written word, and well, they should. Plus, we have all these books. Look at all these books on those shelves. We have like a whole giant pile of our original blog pieces. We've had them all printed up. We have like 7 volumes now. So it's nice to have a library, and it's, God forbid YouTube explodes one day. I'll be sad, but if we lost all these videos, but it happened before. Our account went down. What caused Tess the Mess to get our account when we did an exorcism on her? Really? We did an exorcism on this really nasty woman that we knew. Oh, it's a long story. Tess the Mess. This goes back, and she got YouTube to deactivate our account. Because we did, and we used her name. That was what happened. Yeah, we used her name for something like an exorcism. I think you can use people's names and it's fine. Of course you can. Yeah, but she like went crazy because we did an exorcism. We used a puppet. We were burning stuff. Oh, Jesus. It was only to make her stop acting up. It was like, Tess, you're out of control. We're going to have to do an exorcism on you. And so that was like a decade ago. And we had many videos on that old YouTube account, and they're all gone. But John, of course, he's got this very pragmatic way of putting it. And he says, this is how it is. Those videos, there was a lot of anger in those videos. There was some great stuff with Herman and the animals. It's true. But Lena, just say goodbye. Kiss it goodbye and move forward. And then it was relatively easy setting up a new account. I had no problem. I had no problem. And it's been smooth sailing ever since. So yeah, spinal cracking. You're not talking. I am talking. We're talking together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to now writing this blog piece, because writing is such a cathartic experience for me, especially with John, because he loves to write, and he's such an eloquent, beautiful writer and meticulous about wording. And we do a lot of conferring. Well, how do you want to put this? Well, how do you want to put that? Well, that sounds good, but let's try this. and it's such a team effort because I'm a writer. Yeah, she's a great writer. Even Christopher always says, "Geez, you're one of the greatest writers." Yeah, Christopher has told me he really loves my writing. My old bass player George said to me, "Lena, you're the best writer I've ever read, and I love to read." Can you imagine someone telling you that? I'm like, I'm the best out of Stephen King and he's like, out of everybody. Your writing is so lovely. I love your stories, and I'm getting emotional right now to think that someone would say that to me. And I think the reason people enjoy my writing is because I love writing so much. And once I get down to it, because as John says, it's torture. It can be torture. But so can composing music, and I've said it all before. Yeah. Raising children is torture. Raising kittens is torture. Raising kittens is not torture. The litter box is torture. The whole time we're sitting here, this is on full suspension. I'm pushing against this ring. Just so you know, this tension is. I don't like the way this kneecap looks, John. It's kind of deformed. Super deformed. Hi, Matthew Sweet. Matthew Sweet is very slowly making his recovery. Saw the video the other day, Matthew. Thanks for getting that out to me. Oh, God, we love you. I know rehab is a bitch, and a stroke is something that everyone should try to avoid at all costs. So that's something to always watch your cholesterol and watch your diet and watch your stress levels. Definitely watch your stress levels, and pray for our good friend and singer-songwriter, extraordinary composer Matthew Sweet. He is on the road to recovery from a massive stroke. He is speaking. He is walking with the aid of many, many rehabilitation tools. He is up and struggling. But thank God he is able to talk and use one hand. And hopefully he will have use of the other hand soon. Oh, jeez. Poor Matthew. I don't know. He's saying, I'm going to come out of this a better man. You watch. Okay, great. Good, honey. You do it. We'll be here cheering for you. He's saying, Lena, you got to do it too. I know. I'm on it, baby. I'm on it. Matthew's calling me Evangeline, like his song. Too bad the only man she loves is God above. Evangeline. John wrote a poem about me called Evangeline. Yep. So, yeah. Do you want to go at the computer with this story, or do you? I don't think I'm up for hand. No, we're not going to write by hand. We will definitely type it up. It's going to be great too. It's because I think some people have maybe gone. I know some people have gone through it. There, it's part of the Kundalini awakening. It's a unblocking of the chakras, right? And it's like going down your body and up and back up like a step ladder. Crack, crack, crack. You know, you're like going down a ladder rung. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Like like systematic, like, oh, my neck, oh, my back, oh, my shoulders, oh, my upper rib cage, oh, my waist, oh, my hips, oh, my thighs, everything. It was all in order. Yeah, it was all in order. My arms straight out to my fingertips. My fingertips would be like, crack, 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 crack. Yeah. And the thing, it felt great. It was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Like when you have a good chiropractor and you're not supposed to do anything and they're doing all the work. And John did that to me. And he said, well, Lena, honey, you're so blocked. You are so blocked. Once we get this energy moving, we'll be on the road to some type of recovery for you. But right now, you are really in bad shape, honey. Right. And at the time, I thought I was doing pretty good. I was swimming every day. I was going down to the pool in Flushing, and I was doing like fucking 50 laps, like 4 times a week. That's a lot. I didn't know I was doing it with a broken shoulder and a dislocated whatever. I had all these injuries that I had never had treated over the years. Just powered through them. And, sometimes I would come home from the pool and my one arm would feel really crazy. Like, oh, I can't move this arm right. I must have swam too much. No, asshole, you broke it quite a while back, but you just never took care of yourself. Found that out later when I was in the hospital and they did x-rays and found an old broken shoulder injury that set wrong. I mean, I always took care of everything else but me. Always. Injury to me was whenever I hurt myself growing up, my parents just told me, stop crying, get over it. And I carried that with me. Like, all right, you're not hurt. Keep going. This is nothing. Keep going. And like, I'm like a war victim. And, when you feel like you have no support system growing up, I think you're really susceptible to accidents. I've heard that. Yes, that's true. You're susceptible to getting hurt and falling down, and it's like subliminal, like you think you deserve it or something, and that it's par for the course. It's not par for the course. God and Mother don't want you walking around all beat up and hurt. That's not how you're supposed to go through life. You're supposed to go through life honoring your body and loving your body and being grateful and taking good care of it. Okay, so I'm learning these things now at 62 years old. Took me a while. Gotta start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. I always tried to do the right thing. And that's what made you open to autoimmune disease like lupus. When your body is broken down like that, the cells begin to attack each other because there's nothing left to attack except itself. So they say that chronic injuries bring on autoimmune, but and because of the acute inflammation. Yeah, it's a mess. And that's why I get very angry at myself for letting it get this far. That'll get you nowhere. That'll get you nowhere, Lena. You were in such good shape. I mean, by the time no, we've talked about this. Wasn't the best. It really wasn't the best, and mostly because of how much I smoked more than you can even imagine. You thought you were a smoker, and you were a pretty heavy smoker at one point, but you didn't smoke like me, and I was really pushing the envelope there with that. I mean, really. We're looking at probably mouth cancer, throat cancer. It's a miracle that it didn't happen to me would happen. Well, given me a couple more years, I might have been right there with George. You know what I mean? Yeah, the inside of my body was really taking a beating because of the smoking and the anxiety levels. I had very bad, same as you, chronic anxiety that I never really addressed. I tried through yoga. Me and you were always big on the self-help programs. Right, we really were. You know, the meditation tapes and the supplements, and we always were real. It wasn't for lack of desire for something more and something better. But it's very hard to follow through. Down here, I'll say it again. Down here is a rough ballpark. Yeah, it is. It sure is, John. It sure is, hon. So we were up for most of the night talking. Yeah, talked about a lot of stuff, and that stuff is private. That stuff is private, but interesting nonetheless. Well, maybe we'll rehash some of it later if you want. I don't mind. Okay, later we can rehash some of it. It was just stuff about our personal lives and how they compare and contrast over the decades. Those kittens have abandoned me today. They hate me. They don't. They hate mommy. Mother God, yes, Lena. What's shaking, Mom? Hey, Dad, I always forget you. Go have your green juice. All right, will do. Johnny, I love you. It seems like it's time for a green juice. Yep, it sure is. And later we'll get together for the cameras and do some music. I think that's a good idea. All right, let's pick some really good songs today. No, let's pick some shitty ones. Okay.